All right. Well, hello and welcome. We're so excited to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us again. Zach and I are so honored to get to share this presentation that we got to share 2 times at Keller Williams Family Reunion. And we thought, hey, let's do it again and do it through the Zoom so others can join us. Or if you were there, that's cool too, and you want to see us again. Well, we're super honored for that as well. So Zach, want to kind of kick us off here?
It would be my honor. Let's just see if screen sharing is going to play along with us here.
Okay.
What do you say? Do we see it?
Looks
It's
great.
working?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Fantastic. Let's just pull everything together. All right. I am thrilled to be here with you guys and Jenny to talk about make sure your message matches the market. Jenny, we were talking earlier. We had the opportunity to do this twice at Family Reunion.
Yes.
I enjoyed it with you. It was a lot of fun. In fact, we had so much fun, we decided to do an encore presentation for all of your fans and our friends on Facebook to dive into it. So let's just jump right into it. As always, guys, remember, if you're going to make phone calls, always follow that TCPA. Make those phone calls in a TCPA-friendly and compliant manner with all of that. Jenny, talk to us.
Hey!
Who are you?
I am Jennie Wolek here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, middle of America, and so excited to be here. I have a business, real estate team here in Tulsa. I've been in real estate for 22 years and really been on the team building and growth journey really since 2012 of growing and failing and learning and sharing everything that I've learned with my agent community. That's why I have a Facebook page and group called Your Journey with Jennie, because I love sharing and empowering other agents to not waste all the time I wasted figuring some of this stuff out. I love teaching and training. That's why I have worked on becoming an approved trainer with KWU, as well as a Quantum Leap for Young Adults instructor. And I'm on the board of directors for KWKC, which is Gary's nonprofit that allows us to share the content and a lot of the things that we talk about through the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the One Thing, and Quantum Leap 6 Personal Perspectives. Those are all inside of the content that we share for young adults. We are always looking for more instructors to join us on the QL mission and empowering our youth. So let me know if you're interested, kwkc.org, and you're going to go to become an instructor and sign up. So that's who I am, Zach.
Oh, it's so good. Jenny, I admire everything that you do for KW Kids Can. It's such an incredible organization. I mentioned before the call, I had the opportunity to golf in the Keller Classic, which is a charity golf tournament we do every year after Family Reunion to raise funds for KW Kids Can and KW Cares. And it's just such a great organization. And so thank you for your leadership on that board of directors. It's just a great, great thing.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, I'm Zach Younger. For those of you I don't know, I'm with the Northern California, Hawaii region. I'm the Regional Technology Director here. Aloha. Regional Technology Director is just a fancy title for it's my job to help our top agents and our leaders be as productive and profitable as possible in their real estate business, usually through the use of technology. And so I get to consult with top agents all throughout the country and more specifically Northern California, Hawaii, on how to make sure their message matches the market, leveraging social media and command. And we'll talk a little bit about that here today, of course. I also serve as a member of the master faculty for Keller Williams University and Keller Williams International. I'm a founding labs advisor, which means I get to test and break technology at Keller Williams, and also the co-founder of Leverage Strong, a leverage and market center tech training company within Keller Williams, which is a lot of fun and exciting to run through. But let's jump right into it, Jenny. What controls the real estate market? Talk to us.
You know, we could probably guess a lot of different things and a lot of answers may be right, but coming from the book called Shift that Gary, Jay, and Dave wrote, we're going to say what they say as the right answer, meaning supply and demand. Supply and demand is what controls the real estate market. You know, yeah, go ahead. Oh, no.
Shift.
Yeah, we're all frozen, but I think we're good now. So yeah, so this came right, Zach, we keep freezing. I'm hardwired. I hope that it's not me. Okay, so we talked about this, the shift obviously a lot lately. And so this really stood out to us is that when we start seeing fewer leads, fewer showings on our properties and working with buyers, and then the days on market starts creeping up, the minute that happens, we got to take notice of it. And I got back home, Zach, and pulled the market stats from our MLS, and dang, if that wasn't true, I'm sure that others have started to feel that a little bit as well.
It's amazing how much genius we can find in this little book, isn't it, Jenny?
It's all there. It's so great.
We're going to be talking about it quite a bit. For those of you that might have joined us at Family Reunion, or maybe seeing this for the first time, we've broke this topic down into 3 simple steps. The first one is all around your message, and that's about being the local economist of choice, as Jenny was mentioning earlier, knowing your local market. Step 2 is knowing who's going to hear your message and creating content to share with your database, taking mind share, as we call it in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And then step 3, figuring out how to actually deliver that message, creating plans and getting into action.
Yep.
We're going to be diving deeper into each about it. Page 58. Did I freeze on you guys?
I don't know, but I think we're great. Yeah, let's go right on to this page 58, the 2 M's of lead generation. Once again, right? Open up the book.
Open the book. First one is message, making sure that it matches the market. And then, of course, you have to make an offer, what we call MOFR, or make offer for immediate response, whether that's a direct offer or an indirect offer. And then, of course, naturally, when it matches the market, you need a target audience and you need to know those market conditions. You want to talk about method?
Yeah, so these 2 M's, I remember my coach always talking about these, and it didn't really click for me until now, until I got to do a presentation on MOFRs, basically. And what it really clicked for me in understanding is, first, we just have to determine what that message will be, and then figure out the method, and that is the way that we will be delivering that message to our market. Well, there's 2 things that we do as real estate agents. We either prospect or we market. And actually, we should always be doing both at the same time. And so how we can be doing that is through our different forms of lead generation and connecting with our people. And then once we know what that message is and the method that we will be delivering it, we're going to time block our day. Now, a lot of us here, we need to be lead generating 3 hours a day. And maybe that seems super overwhelming and daunting to you, but think about it like this. This is the way that Gary shares it instead, is really you have that first hour of preparing. Who are you going to call? How are you going to share the message? Compiling your list. And then you get into action. That's the making the phone calls, sending the emails, and doing the activities. And then you're maintaining your database with the results and the feedback that you're getting and putting it into your CRM and making sure that you have your follow-up going forward. So I love the 2 M's. And I think that not everyone realizes that they're so important in our business. Well, yeah, this whole first section we're going to talk about, Zach, in our presentation is about just tapping into what that message of the market is. And so how we do that, we know that it's important to be the local economist of choice for our clients. This means that we're knowledgeable about what is happening out there in the world of real estate. For me, it's in the Tulsa area. For you, it's in a different area. So you don't need to know the whole big picture of the whole world and the whole country real estate market. You need to be your local economist of choice. So what will your message be? That's the question. And it matters. It really, really matters. And all of our messages could change and vary a little bit. And Zach, from the moment that we were to put this presentation together, has our message changed a little bit?
like every week, it feels like, Jenny.
Every
Like
week.
when we started putting this together, what, 3 months ago for Family Reunion, and the market has completely changed twice since then, I feel like.
It really has. And so what was our message when we put this presentation together is kind of out of date now, but it's okay, because what we are going to share with you is like a menu of services. Like we talked about, Zach, is having a menu of MOFers. So if the market adjusts a little bit, you need to be aware of it. You can pull back, you can abort. That's not the message anymore. And just save it as a placeholder for the next time the market comes back around to that, because it probably will.
Every time. Oh, we got to go back to shift again. I think this quote nails exactly what you said, and that is ultimately your message must match the market. That means your lead generation message must match the motivation of the buyers and the sellers in whatever market we're in. It's constantly changing, and it will constantly show up and really reveal itself.
Yeah. Well, how do you become an expert though, Zach? I mean, there's a lot to know, and where do I start?
Well, there's an old adage, Jenny. We were talking about this. It comes from agriculture and farming, and that is the best fertilizer for a farmer's soil is the imprint of the farmer's footprint. In other words, a farmer needs to be in their field in order for their crops to thrive. And ultimately, as real estate agents, as realtors and market professionals, we need to be in the market. We need to be constantly a student of the market. We need to be talking to other agents. We need to be talking with our leadership teams, attending team meetings, and even talking with our consumers, asking them how they're feeling about the market. There's a lot of other resources out there too, Jenny. For instance, here's one from the National Association of Realtors. If you don't follow the National Association of Realtors on Instagram and Facebook, do so immediately. NAR puts together these really great infographics that can help us become experts of what's going on in the marketplace. We can literally turn around and share this and look like the expert, even when we may not already be an expert. And so NAR puts together really great resources, and so does Keller Williams, that help us be the market expert.
Yeah, you got it. I loved it. I just started following NAR on Instagram, and you're right. That's all we need to know. And even sharing the positive content with your local people as well is great stuff.
Jenny, at Family Reunion, Gary Keller, Jay Papazan, Rubin, and Jason Abrams all stood up on stage for the vision speech.
Yep.
All those slides are now available on KW Connect. Those are tremendous resources to make us the market expert. For those of you that weren't at Family Reunion, go to KW Connect and search for vision speech. Search vision speech, and you're going to find not only the slides, but also the recording of Gary Keller and Jay standing up on stage talking about exactly what's going on in the market. Priceless.
So I'll add in, because as soon as I got back and sharing with the team at our next team meeting, I pulled the slides this last Monday. We went through the important things to know, and then also pulled our local market stats as well to really see that they do mirror each other, and that the historical trends are facts. It's real data. And so we are the local economists of choice when we use this historical data and trends and then relate it to our current local market as well.
Okay, Jenny, let's talk about overcoming buyer reluctance. There's some buyer reluctance out there in the marketplace right now, isn't there?
There could be. And so Zach, again, this is funny how time works. Back when we started writing this, it's when the interest rates had popped up there like double what they had been last year, like double. That's a lot of a dip that really was holding people back from making a purchase that could have been on their plan. So they're like, whoa, hold on. I just talked with my lender friend that always is a trusted partner here. We talk about him in a minute with our video that is coming up. But he told me today, for a great qualified buyer, interest rates today are 6.625. They're always changing. And so then now the message could be a little different. It could be saying that interest rates were here and now they're here. So now there's urgency. Let's go. Right? That's how fast our messages can change. Well, what was happening in the very recent past, interest rates went up, buyers weren't sure what's going on, and so they didn't want to make a move. And then also there's still low inventory in most of the markets across the country. And so that low inventory just probably helped put them on pause. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see what's going on. Yeah, so I love this from the Shift book as well. Jim Rohn says, if someone's going down the wrong road, he doesn't need motivation to speed him up. He just needs education to turn him around. And the way I think about this is we are the educators for our clients, for the community. We are the ones, because we're local economists of choice. If we see that they're going down the wrong path or not moving and getting into action when they should be investing in real estate and growing their wealth that way, then it's our job to help educate them and turn them around. So that's what's fun about being educated in the Shift book, is because now we have these as scripts and conversations to be able to share with our people. Now, oh goodness, we lost Zach. We'll see if he hops right back up here real quick. Okay, we'll get him back in here, guys. Hold on just a sec. Okay, he'll be right back. Oh, there you are, Zach. Okay, hi. He's back.
I'm so sorry. I've
You're
switched over to very good technical difficulties.
We're all good.
Can you see my screen now?
Nope.
Oh, great.
I can pop mine up if we need to. Here's the thing. This is a free training session, so you guys are welcome. There we go. I got it. I just don't see you. So let me find you real quick. I bet I can find you here. Oh.
How about now? Does that bring me to the front?
Yeah, I think I just need to make you over here, add you a pin. There you are. Okay. Got you. We're back. And action. All right.
All right, Jenny. We talked a little bit about buyer reluctancy. Let's get into some like real strategies around it. Date the rate, marry the home. I shared this with you. When I first heard date the rate, marry the home as like a strategy to overcome buyer reluctancy, I saw it as a meme on Facebook, and to be transparent and maybe a little vulgar, I was grossed out by it. Like I gagged a little bit when I first read that. Date the rate, marry the home. I was like, ew, what? That just it felt dirty. And then I thought about it a little bit more, and then eventually watched a video about you. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, I'm so with you. I agree 100%. I see some friends are agreeing with us here as well, but it was like so gross. And then I thought about it and I go, but wait, actually, that's a beautiful way of saying it. And so I reached out to my local lender friend. He's a great partner with us. And I said, hey, Chris, will you hop on with me? You know, you are the expert when it comes to mortgages and loans and interest rates and trends in the future and forecasting. Now no one can. And I said, would you hop on a video with me so that we can just kind of talk about this, and you can be that voice of reason for what's happening. And he actually referenced the meme and in jest said, it is silly and it's so true. He said, because what's happening here is that your so here's a picture of me interviewing Chris. You don't see him yet, but the video is live if you want to go watch it. But it was him saying that if it is time for you and your family to make a move, if it fits in your budget, if the numbers work, and it is a proper time for this life event to happen, yes, Go for it, buy a home. And as me being your trusted local lender friend, I'm always going to be watching the rates and let you know when it makes sense for you to come back and refi. And the way my company works, this is him speaking, we're not going to charge additional fees and things like that. So most of us probably have a trusted lender partner we do business with. Have them be that expert for you, right, Zach? Doesn't it come better when it's coming from other people other than me?
I tell you what, when I watched this video, I felt better about it. Just hearing another professional, another expert having that conversation is like, I think it was genius interviewing him like you did.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I agree. I think that we bring in the experts that help us convey that message, right?
Yeah. So date the rate, marry the home can work. We also on the previous slide saw love it or list it. Jenny, talk to us about this initiative that you ended up doing with your team.
Yeah, so it was, every year, I love systems and I love touch plans. And so we're already documented out for the full year in our marketing plan. And every year since I've been in real estate, which is a lot of them, 22, I have sent out a calendar magnet. I know the importance of putting snail mail in their mailbox. They put it on their fridge. They keep it all year long. Same with a football magnet, by the way. Tulsa or in Oklahoma, football is a big deal. So those are the two pieces of mail that go in their mailbox each year. And so we were already spending the money on the envelope, the stamp, the label, the person that's addressing all these calendar magnets. I let's put in a little insert that gives a mofer a message about what's happening in the market. So then we, in the marketing piece of this, the insert said to them, hey, interest rates should not hold you back. If you need to make a move, we're here to help you. We know that with a proper consultation and a plan, we will help you find your dream home if now is the right time for you to make a move. If by chance you don't love your home, then we will list it for free. Of course, down here, you can see some really fine print and you're going to make your rules. And the rules are, must be within the first 3 months, or you still need to pay for the buyer side fees and any other things like that. But it was just letting them know that we acknowledge what their fears may be, educating them about history and how interest rates are not a make or break and whether it's a good time to invest in real estate for you. Then we're going to help them overcome it and give them an option. The option is, if you don't love it, we'll help you out by listing it for free. That's it.
Now, Jenny, you've done this for a little while. How many times have you had to list a house for free because they didn't love it?
We have never had to list a house for free because they didn't love it. That's just what's fun about whatever your marketing message is just hearing. Now, how you know what their concerns are is because you lead generate every day and you talk to your people every day. You have conversations with buyers and sellers. That's how you know what their fear is. And then your marketing message is just overcoming whatever their fear is. Do we get call-ins every day like, hey, I want to buy a house with you guys because I hear you're going to list it for free if I don't love it? Of course not. But we're helping overcome any questions that they may have or concerns.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Have you guys seen this book yet? It's amazing. Do you have one nearby? Because of course you do, because you're master faculty and all. Yeah, so look at this book. So our company, I swear, they make our lives so easy for us. Gary and Jay rewrote Your First Home. It's been around for a long time. They updated it. It just came out. We read it as we bought it. I bought it, Zach, as a book club for our team. And so we read it as our book club. And then we're like, well, now it's just time to do a buyer seminar, because we had never done one in all my years. And so that was the new message of, and we kind of messaged it, whether they were a first-time buyer or just a new buyer in this new market. Come on over and we'll help educate you about what's going on. Now, the buyer seminar was a total success for us. We had 20 people show up, some couples, and they have already since then, people have come back around and said, okay, now I'm ready. Or actually that one girl I told you about, she missed the seminar but was still on our email list and said, oh, I missed it. And now I am ready. My landlord is going to sell the home that I'm living in. So use the tools on KW Connect, right? Isn't there everything on there, Zach?
Everything's on KW Connect.
The presentation, the marketing materials and graphics, all the stuff. So cool.
Now, you gave everyone a copy of this book?
Yeah.
Did
So
you give everyone a copy? Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, absolutely. So whenever they came, they got a little swag bag with some Wolek Group swag and a book inside as well. It was a great day. And it just really taught us that we are the educators for our people. It was great. Now, sellers, Zach, have some concerns as well. And, just as soon as we started creating messages around one way, then it shifted to another message, but always having a list of what is the concern we want to overcome, and being on the ready with those. I mean, just like buyers, higher interest rates had an impact on sellers too. Maybe the buyer pool went down for a little bit. It did for a minute. And then also, if they are also buyers, they have that concern. And has there been some up and down about values and maybe taking longer to sell? And did I miss the mark on pricing it correctly? And then
Jenny, I've heard people say, why would I buy a house now if it might be worth less tomorrow? Not worthless, but worth less. I mean, these are valid concerns for buyers and sellers.
Well, this is where you go and look at your market statistics and look at the numbers. Oh, interesting, Zach, because I just did. And oh, look, actually, our average sales price is higher than a year ago and month over month. So, I mean, you just get to share the data about the reality of the market, right?
Yeah. Speaking of sharing the data, another quote from Shift, page 142. As soon as market price has been established, the question every seller must then answer is, what should my asking price be? It's a strategic question, not a value question. So, Jenny, it's all about price. Let's talk about some pricing strategies, if we will. You love these things.
I get so pumped up and excited. Okay, so Zach, here's my truth. I guess it is being recorded. Here's my truth. Over the past few years, with the way that realtors were helping their clients price home, which was basically sounded like this. Yeah, I'd like to price my house at this price. And the agent would go, okay. That was the strategy. And it worked. Like, this is why I was freaking out all these years of how is this still working? And so I knew something would give. And this is why we've got our book. We get to come back into all the different strategies and understanding that pricing is still the most important thing. We got out of it for a little bit, but we must get real and right with pricing correctly. And it's our job as the local expert to guide our clients down this path. Now, this is where we have to really paint the picture for them and have them really understand in their mind's eye that first window of opportunity is what matters most. Because Zach, have you ever heard a seller say, well, let's just put it at this higher price and see what happens?
Unfortunately, all the time.
Sometimes it works.
Mm-hmm.
In a shifting market, slowing down, days on market, more competition, it's not going to work. And now you have shot yourself in the foot, and the seller will not be able to catch up to get back to being that first choice. The realtors are smart. Buyer agents are smart. Buyers are savvy. And if you have aimed too high, then you will have to work so hard to get back in front of them. So this is your conversations are already built into Tactic 7, which is all about pricing strategies. So I don't need to read all this to you, but you can see that it's a seesaw, buyers, sellers, demand, and we just have to figure out where we are inside of that. And how you know is by pulling your local market statistics month after month after month and being in the business day after day after day and hearing and seeing and feeling exactly what is happening. This is also being great at pulling comparable sales. Now, I'm not going to go through a whole CMA strategy session here with you guys, but you're not only looking at sold comps, and if you are very recent sold comps, I always chop down the months that I'm going to go back, but I also want to see the pending under contract properties, because this tells us what price a buyer agreed to. Now, there could probably be some negotiation inside of that price, but we know that at least that price brought an offer to start a conversation. And then we got to look at your active competition, because to be honest, Zach, we're going back to the pricing war and the beauty contest all at the same time. And you need to be below the active competition. You need to get picked first, or you might not. Otherwise, this is what happens, Zach. You chase the market and you chase it down. That in the end, when you start too high, you will, over time, with price adjustment, sell below where you would have. And in a longer period of time, it's going to take longer. Can you tell I get really pumped up about this?
Every time, Jenny, every time we talk about this, you get like giddy. It's
so
fun.
Important. It's so important. And so as you guys are hearing me be so passionate about this, is because I've lived it, and you maybe haven't lived it yet. So go, and I shared with you, Zach, in the old days, I had the CDs of this, and I drove around in the car and I played Tactic 7 over and over and over again on my way to listing appointments. So I was listening to the conversations about the importance of price. So when I show up and have that conversation with the clients, I'm so passionate about it because I want them to win. I don't want them to lose. And we should all feel that way.
Jenny, at family reunion, I was poking fun at you for having a CD player in your car. Mm-hmm. And then I got home from family reunion, I got in my Prius and I was like, oh, I have a CD player in this. I can't make fun of Jenny anymore.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
I can just make fun of myself for driving a Prius, which is awesome.
I was going to say, but you do live in California. It makes sense.
It's the backup car to the Tesla, which of course drives itself everywhere.
Of course. I love that.
And there's no CD player.
No.
Earlier, we talked about overcoming seller reluctance and said that we'd share some other strategies. You've got a couple different strategies like the seller rescue plan. Talk to us about these messages.
Yeah, so this is a great example of a message, an objection, a concern that we were hearing back a few years ago in the height of the pandemic, and we had such low inventory and extreme low interest rates. This was the message we were hearing from sellers. I'd love to sell now and take advantage of the high values and low interest rates, but I don't have anywhere to go. And so I just did my little brainstorm and journaling about what are some options that could help them kind of overcome this? Well, you could go ahead and buy now because rates are so dang low. Take advantage of that. Let's just sell after you get under contract. So you're not stressed about being homeless, about the coordination of contingencies, and that wouldn't have worked anyway. There was no contingency being accepted back then, right? So buy first, sell later, we got you, it's all gonna be right. Of course, that's gonna be for a certain kind of client that is able to buy and have two houses at the same time. Sell now, go ahead and get out, take advantage of the money, and maybe just stay put now, because in that moment, buyers were very desperate to lock up a property, so they would allow you to rent back for certain periods of time. I'm sure in California, the rent backs were a lot longer than they were here in Tulsa. How long were you seeing for some people?
30 days were standard. 90 days was normal.
Wow.
6 months was not rare. And we saw 1 year free rent backs in our marketplace.
I mean, really? So, this is the exciting part about this is the market is ever changing. Are we going to get back to that again? I don't know, but these are options and ideas for your clients and saying, hey, what if you go ahead and sell now and we see if that buyer would be willing to negotiate? You have all the power. Zach, when inventory is still low like it is, sellers still have power on that part, don't they? They can say no.
We're seeing it still. Yep.
Yeah, we are too. And now the sell now, move now was just kind of another way for me to come up. I like three. I thought three would be a good option to have three. And so, sometimes people are like, well, do you have family to live with? Let's take advantage of the high values. You're going to, in Tulsa, we had 10, 15, 20, 30% appreciation. That's a lot for our area. Normally we're at 4% appreciation year after year. So people had all this equity that they could pull out and take advantage of. And so we just thought, well, maybe you go live with family. Maybe you find a short-term rental. I got in touch with the local property manager and they were offering discounts for 3-6-month leasing terms rather than a year of renting, or short-term rentals as well. So I also got with our local moving company and got a discount for any of our clients that would have to move twice, because that sure stinks. And then a storage company, I said, hey, we have clients that may have to put all their stuff somewhere because they don't know where they're going to go. Would you offer a discount as well? So this was just getting a little creative and coming up with some ideas to help our clients feel good.
At Family Reunion, Jenny, I shared the story of several of my friends that sold high and then ended up renting, and they kind of got stuck. I'm happy to report our good friends just got into contract on one of our neighbors' houses.
Yay, see?
Then they did this exact thing. They sold, they moved, and then they moved again about a year and a half later. It's painful, but you made it easier for people.
Or again, at least giving them options. Now, did they really have to go to the extreme of these? Probably not. We probably found them a home. I found in the early days is that we can always help people with contingencies and walk them through that process, but they're going to find a home if they have the urgency that will fit their needs. So there's always that. Hey, and if they don't, we'll list it for free, right?
Love it or list.
Love it or list it.
I love here, Jenny, is you're giving them options. And you said 3. You always want to give 3 options, right?
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm here. Do you see me?
Yeah, I see you. Go. Gotcha.
Okay, thank goodness. All right, let's get into section 2. Creating content to share with your database and taking mind share. This is all around who's going to actually hear the message.
Oh, I remember the first time I heard Gary Keller say this from the big stage, and it just hit me. And I was so grateful because I'd always been a mostly database and referral based business. And it just gave me some calm and peace to know that that's okay. Now, you need to know your sources of business, but your database, your local database of people who know you, trust you, and like you is going to be your best shot of having a big business. So we talked about this different kinds of mind share, Zach, that came from Think Like a CEO. The new season's out. If you haven't listened to it, go check it out ASAP. And Gary and Jay talked about 2 mindsets inside of real estate. Now, I kind of just figure this was my thinking around it. The evergreen mindset is important and you need to have it, but it's based on proven systems and models and tools like this red book that we base our business on, right? And so we have to have that foundation in our business, but then the situational is all the stuff we're talking about today. It's interpreting what's going on in our market and then sharing that message of that moment with our people. What do you think about?
Jenny, I shared with you when I heard this 2 different mindsets of evergreen and situational. When I heard situational, I negatively put a connotation on it. Like I thought, oh, situational is a bad mindset. Evergreen, we should always have an evergreen mindset based on proven systems. But that just simply isn't the case. We need to interpret and implement different messages and different mindsets at any time.
Yep, you got it.
You mentioned the red book. I think you pulled it out too. Page 134 of The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's my second favorite page in the book. Page 134 is where you're going to see this graph all around taking mind share. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent says getting mind share is the number one thing we can possibly do. And we need to ultimately be the first person someone thinks of when they think of real estate. And there's a handful of ways to do that. Jenny, ultimately it comes down to lead generation, doesn't it?
Oh, always. That's always the answer for all things.
Every single time. It's my favorite page in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, which is page 188. And that's the 4 laws of lead generation. Build a database, feed it every day, communicate with it in a systematic way, and service all leads that come your way. That's what lead generation, it's a dance, isn't it?
It's such a
That's
dance.
it's all lead generation is. Connect with people through prospecting and marketing. Once you meet new leads, figure out if you're going to do business with them immediately or not. And then either way, put them in your database. Stay in touch with them forever. We're going to give you some other tactics on what to do with them in your database in just a little bit. But first, Jennie, talk to us about getting mind share with your database through this. I thought this was so cool.
Yeah. So I love systems, and lots of you are friends and you know that I love sharing our systems. So this graphic is inside of your Journey with Jennie, the group. Just ask to join if you're not already in there, and just search for marketing and events plan. We also started making 1-pagers for all our different events. So you can find all those in there as well. But I just wanted like this one little snapshot. So Zach, if I were to share with you, hey, here's the Wolek Group's plan for 2023, you can see where we are and what we're doing and all the different touches that are going on. So not just with our met database, which is mostly down the left-hand side, but also our unmets, our listings, our quarterly touches, and our annual plans as well. So that is our 1-pager. As my coach says, you create the plan and you run the play. So you create what that plan is going to look like, you put it on the calendar, and you have some accountability and some follow-up with it, right?
Speaking of evergreen, Jennie, I love that you made this evergreen. You didn't put specific dates. It's just a month. Hey, this is what we're going to do every January. This is what we're going to do every June. This is what we're going to do every September. It's like it's a menu and a plan that just makes it easier to run it.
And guess what? It can change. It can totally change. It's in an editable format. So it is not for life. I love it. So Zach, we talked about this of choosing your channel, right? What's that mean?
Well, ultimately, we have to come up with a handful of different ways. We need to have consistency and value. We need to ultimately know what channels. Here on the slide, you talked about 3 categories of value: information, access, and service. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh, well, I shared with you that I have my expert friends hop on and shoot videos with me. That's what we want to be for our clients. So we want all of our database, whether they've worked with us or they haven't yet, is that when they think of something around Tulsa, whether it's a local restaurant or a great nonprofit to be involved with or a local business, we want them to think about us. And so we've really, really focused on our YouTube videos in order to be that. And that to me is also being a local economist of choice in a sense, because we want people to, when they think of Tulsa, they think of us. Yeah. Makes me happy.
You already talked about the buyer seminar, and then let's talk about your allied resource referral program. You get giddy about this one too. This is from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I lifted up my book, yeah, it was on this page because I reference it almost each week in having a plan. So a lot of times as realtors, we tend to try and overcomplicate things, but usually all the answers are in the book already. And so the idea behind this is on page 141 in your Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Mine's already open to it. And Gary and the authors talk about having this plan to generate referrals from your people. Now they say that first you educate, you ask for help, and you reward. So in this chapter in the book, it's talking about educating them on how they refer you. Like, what are the steps if they heard of somebody that needs to buy or sell? I've even thought of it as like, it's my job to educate them in general in the real estate market. If we're providing value to our people, then that is educating them on how they can also, and why they would want to refer us, because we are professionals and know what's happening and going on, because we've continued to keep our people informed on all that. A lot of the ask for help and part, we got to see a lot of over the past few years in doing all these online events and giveaways, because whenever people were opting in or calling in to win a prize, we were asking if they knew somebody who may need to buy or sell a home. And if they did, we put them in the drawing twice. And then we reward them, because when that referral does come in, we're giving them a thank you gift card. Thanks a latte for your referral. And just continuing, this just never ends, Zach. It just never ends. It's just a cycle. It's just like those 4 laws of lead generation. This is part of that dance right here.
It never stops. And we're going to talk a little bit more about educating and rewarding and reaching out to them a little bit later. You're going to share some tools. But let's jump in now to the creating the actual plans. Oh, that got wild. From Shift, it says, when the market changes, you don't slow down. And so this section is all around creating the plans and ultimately getting your message out there. Command is a great way to do that. I'm going to share a handful of smart plans that we recommend that you use to provide valuable touches. Of course, you can use social media. You've got giveaways that you mentioned a little bit earlier, and virtual assistants as well. Talk to me more about your giveaways.
Yeah, so I know it was quite the fun thing that all realtors were doing over the past years. When we couldn't see each other face to face or have in-person stuff, we got a little creative, and I love it. I love that about our industry, is that we make the best of it. And so we would give away, a big green egg for Father's Day, and that's a smoker and a grill, if you don't know, and they're pretty popular and heavy, by the way. And so we would have a contest and a giveaway. Now, remember, my lender partner friend or your insurance agent, title rep, whoever, get them to pitch in on the cost, so you zero out or have a very little expense around this kind of giveaway. But in the giveaway, people must provide information to you. That's the entry in the giveaway, Zach, is they got to tell you stuff like their name, their address, their phone number, their email address. Oh, and by the way, if you know somebody who needs to buy or sell, and provide their name and number, that's an extra entry. And also, we might ask some other fun stuff like, what do you love most about Dad? Or, tell us why you are nominating this person for whatever, Dad of the Year, right? So you're getting additional information from them that all makes it fun. That was just such a great way. I learned early on that we wanted to open up these giveaways and events rather than just our Met database. We wanted to open it up to all, because the goal is to grow our database, right? Didn't we have a slide on that? Your database is your business is your database, but you got to keep growing it. Because wait, that's inside of the 4 laws, isn't it, Zach? Growing your database and feeding it.
Feed it every day.
So that's how we're feeding it, is we're adding new people to it. That was so much fun. And then here's the secret with our virtual assistant. So I happen to be a big fan of Cyberbacker. We have 3 Cyberbackers in our business, and they are amazing, and we love them, and they're a part of our team. And they have helped us, whether it's through social media posts and graphics and having that talent in that area. We also have had our other Cyberbackers send messages or drop voice messages to our database to double down in times when we needed extra touches with our people. It's working because our business picked up. So I'm going to say it's all good.
One thing I loved when you were talking about virtual assistants, when we were preparing for this, Jenny, you said that your virtual assistants were sending messages on behalf of the agents.
Yep.
So the agents thought it was actually, the consumers thought it was coming from the agent, but it was the virtual assistant doing the business or doing the messaging.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we've been working on as a team. Is sometimes our agents are out in the field, or they're doing the work they're doing, and they get behind maybe on some follow-up calls or texts, or maybe quarterly touches that they needed to do. And so we just trained our talented virtual assistants to copy and paste the script. Hey, Zach, it's Jennie Wolek with the Wolek Group here in Tulsa. Just thinking about you, wanted to touch base, see how everything's going. Of course, let me know if you need anything. So these virtual assistants can appear to be you if you need them to. And the cool part is how much better is that for our agents, instead of spending the time on copy pasting, texting our clients with the same type of message, instead, they're just getting the responses back. So now they're getting in a real two-way conversation because the client raised their hand and responded.
So your virtual assistant can literally just go right into command, send the text message on behalf of the agent. So it looks like it's coming from the agent. When the consumer replies, the agent gets the message and they focus on the responses instead of the work and the act of sending all of the messages.
Isn't that so cool?
It's awesome. Okay, giveaways. You talked about Big Green Egg. Another time we spoke, you gave away a Peloton. These are expensive things, but you don't always have to give away expensive things. You did this market survey. What did you give away to do this?
$100. Amazon $100 gift card.
And it worked?
Yeah, so I have we've done this for 3 years in a row now. Of course, that first year we got the biggest response because the most amount of people were seeing it for the first time, because it's kind of a trick, to be honest. We're asking these people to complete the survey to let us know what they know about the real estate market. And really what we're doing, the survey is right here in the middle. It says, "Did you know?" And you're giving them educational points about what's happening in the market. So this year's message was letting them know it's still okay. It's still a good time to buy, sell. Home values are up, and they may have slowed down a little bit, so buyer isn't so urgent. And the historical interest rate is 7.8% over the last 50 years. So a rate should not hold you back from making a move. And then whenever they clicked inside of here, what we really captured was their name, their address, their phone number, their email. If they had anybody who wanted to buy or sell, then we'd put them in the drawing twice. So every year we run this play, as a part of our plan, we capture new Mets to our database. We capture referrals. We capture CMA requests because we say, I'm curious about the value of my home. Please send a report. Now they've raised a hand that they are at least thinking about it, or just want to know the value, which is still a great touch to call and follow up, making sure you got the home value report. It's engagement. You're connecting with your people, you're educating them, and you're having a little fun along the way.
It works. It's amazing.
Fun.
Don't have to give away a Peloton, $100 Amazon gift card.
That's all it takes.
We spoke a little bit about different channels and Facebook and Instagram. Jennie, you talked about YouTube Shorts. How did you leverage YouTube Shorts? Because that can be overwhelming for some people doing these new fun-fangled technology message channels.
So my job is to just create the content. It's to make the videos, and then I provide it to my team, and specifically our cyberbacker, who is talented and can learn and do all of these things for us. So you may not need to be the expert on all of this techie stuff. I believe it is your job to create the content because you are in the field, you are the expert. You might need to help out with writing the blogs or sharing the stories of the market, but find people who can help leverage that stuff for you. That's my secret.
Amazing. Leverage.
Yeah.
This is your YouTube channel?
Yes, it is.
They're just constantly putting value out.
Yeah, so I'll really give credit to our current team member. I've never had a full-on on-purpose marketing and events person, and we finally do, and it has been the most beautiful thing. You may not be at a place where you have that person yet, but you can still start baby stepping some of your processes. But what we do now is it's on my calendar. Once a week, I have an hour time block where I'm going to interview local business owners, whether it's in person or through the Zoom, and I'm making content each week. It's on my calendar and it's a time block. When the video is done, it gets sent to our cyberbacker and our marketing gal, and they make it all pretty. So again, my job is to make the content and show up, but they've helped build out my calendar so that I do it. When I was doing this all by myself, I'd let myself off the hook a lot of times. So I really encourage you to get some people leverage to help.
It's impressive. If you haven't gone to follow Jennie's YouTube channel, do so, because you come up with really great ideas. Take the messages that she's making and just redo it yourself.
Yeah, please do.
Simple. Simple. Earlier, we talked about taking mind share. We know that people do business with people they like. So how do you be more likable with more people? Well, your touch campaigns or smart plans inside of Command is a great way to do that. And people often ask me, Zach, there's so many smart plans inside Command. Which ones am I supposed to actually use? And so we share in this presentation the 4 core smart plans from Command. The first is the biweekly neighborhood nurture. If you're not using this smart plan with your sphere of influence inside of Command, you're missing the boat, because the biweekly neighborhood nurture keeps your clients up to date with whatever's going on in the market, in their neighborhood. This class is all around making sure your message matches the market. The biweekly neighborhood nurture does it for you. Every 2 weeks, an email goes out and keeps your clients up to date with what's going on in their marketplace. And you know when they open it, you know when they click on it. It's just really great. Quarterly call plan is fantastic because the MREA tells us we need to call our database every 90 days. And so the quarterly call plan does that. The birthday smart plan is awesome. That's 4 really great touches every year for people's birthday. My big tip there is only put people on the birthday plan that you actually like, because it gets weird saying happy birthday 4 times to somebody that you don't actually like. And the home anniversary plan is awesome for following up with all your past clients. These are just great smart plans to help you be more likable and have mind share when your clients might have an immediate real estate need.
Love that. Good stuff.
Jenny, let's rifle through a couple other little samples as we end up towards the end here.
Yeah, I mean, these are just great examples of other realtors and agents that share messages of what's going on in the market. So maybe you're educating them on tips or tricks or things or interest rates or the inventory in the market. You're just wanting to always be that, again, local economist of choice. From a personal standpoint, I don't think this should be on your personal page every single day. I think you need to first, in the social media realm, you need to first be a person that happens to sell real estate. So, maybe these are on your business page and you can be sharing these over every now and then. That's just a little social media tip that I've learned. I'm not an expert, just what I've learned.
We've got a couple other little samples of different touches that you can use in social media. Here's 2 that come right out of Command. You literally just have to open it up, drop your logo on it, maybe change out 1 or 2, maybe 3 numbers, and then post it on social media like Jenny talked about. Jenny, I don't know if I ever told you this. I found out afterwards that this slideshow was actually downloadable inside the Family Reunion app. They gave it as a free giveaway to everyone that went to the breakout session. So if you haven't done so already, Jenny, these slides are shareable. So if you haven't posted it into your Facebook group yet, we'll make sure that you guys have access to all of these slides with all the really great stuff.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love that. Well, Zach, like all things in our company, any book that we have, it always starts with our mindset first. We can't control the market. We understand this, but we can control our outlook and how we respond to what's going on out there. And it doesn't determine our success. It just determines the strategy that we're going to take. And that's what all of today has been about, is tapping into what the message is out there and sharing it through different methods of delivery. It comes from clarity. Clarity's power. So we just got to pay attention to what are the local market trends. Again, you know this because you're talking to your people and you're in the business. We also want to share with them, yes, although we've been here, this is where we're going. And we just then need to make sure that the business trends, we need to understand those trends and then how they are matching what's going on in the market. We control the media spend because we shared all those slides about how you're educating your people about the reality of what's happening.
It's so good. Jenny, as we wrap up, I'll just remind everybody, we broke down making your message match the market in 3 steps. First, how to be the economy of choice or the economist of choice. And Jenny shared some really great strategies that she uses. We shared some resources from National Association of Realtors and the vision speech from Family Reunion. And then step 2, having the plan. And Jennie shared several of her plans with you to take mind share. We also talked about the core smart plans that you can use to take that mind share. And then we gave you a bunch of samples of content that you can share in utilizing leverage like virtual assistants and different channels like YouTube channels, shorts, social media, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that fun stuff. It's all right there. Jennie, a couple of questions came through in the Q&A session for our session. One, will everyone receive the recording from this webinar?
Absolutely. You guys know me. Of course, I will share this with you and I'll download those slides as well. So thank you guys for hanging out with us, by the way.
Yeah, everybody who attended, you will get a copy of the recording and all of the slides for everything that you need. I will give you one last make offer for immediate response, and that is go follow Jennie on everything that she does and literally just emulate what Jennie does. She is absolutely incredible. There's so many resources there. Jennie, share that Facebook group again with everybody that you do, because I think there's so much value in there.
Oh, I love it. It's Your Journey with Jennie, JENNIE, the group. There's a page, it's public. There's not as much shared there. Go on over inside the group. I'll let you in. Also, yourjourneywithjennie.com, Zach, is where I've got all kinds of videos and resources and things there as well. So you can find me. I'm happy to see you guys, and thanks for hanging out with us. And Zach, thanks for doing this again. That was fun.
Thank you. I'm so sorry that I had some internet troubles, but it was such an honor to be here with you guys.
We are all good and so appreciative. And thank you. And you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all soon. Bye now.
Bye, y'all.